Hey Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. On my channel, I always read your aura using the Wheel of Emotions. I'll be pulling your basic emotion pyramid and then I'll clarify with oracle cards. I am truly going to assume that you guys can hear me well. I've been fiddling with this mic for the past while and it's had enough of my time. All right. All right, the emotion of your week is fear or terror even. Whoa, okay. And your two leading emotions, so they will spiritually guide you throughout the week, whether they are the emotions that you experience or your emotional goals. All right, you have calmness and frustration. I'm thinking that you might have the tendency to get agitated here and there, but that overall you're mostly calm. As for the fear, I don't think it's something that ever truly comes into play. I feel like it just sort of floats there as a possibility. That you're just not living for it. I'll pull your oracle cards. I don't think it's a question of avoidance or anything like that. I feel like fear is an option and that's not the one you chose, you know? Yeah, that totally makes sense. You have the commitment card. Wisdom. Yeah, you're choosing not to embrace fear because you feel like you know what you're doing. Whatever you're doing is a very tedious craft and not necessarily in the literal sense. What card is this? Fun. It almost didn't come out of the deck. to pull a third card, but it's quite difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here, but it's your purpose that entirely comes into play. Like your divine purpose. I feel like this is what you're edging for. It's just... it's asking a lot when maybe it shouldn't. And the question you're asking is probably why. And like the answers are just not... the answers are just not rolling in. And I feel like that's when fear can just sort of show up and be like, hey, do you want me? I am the answer to not having the answers. And these are big questions that nobody should be asking when pursuing something so great. It's like, hey, I'm trying to change the world. Will I still have a roof on my head next week? It's sort of like if you're truly working with the divine, why is that allowed to be a question? Shuffled and I got the 9 of Hearts. Which is loneliness. But I wanted to say solitude. That's the word I got in my head. I kept thinking you're not afraid of solitude, but should you be? Is that a lesson here? Like you shouldn't be because it won't help you? You shouldn't be okay with solitude because it won't help you. But it's like you're being guided in every direction to end up that way. There is no guidance here. This is dumb. Sorry. Again with this discipline card. I had noticed that it was on the side and I didn't actually pick it up with the rest of the deck, and it dragged from the previous reading where I actually did pull the discipline card. As I shuffled, these 3 new oracle cards came out for your guidance, or at least to give you some mild premonition of the future. You have the Light, Generosity, and Power card. For the Power card, I am serene, powerful, and confident is what they want you to take away. For the Light card, you will radiate brightly and you radiate brightly and are a beacon, reminding others of the divine help available. I think that's what they're trying to say. You are light. You know, a lot of people turn away from the light. And so that's what you're experiencing. I feel like you do depend on the divine, but there is a lot that still depends on other people. And that is just a side effect of divine timing. Things not being fully in place yet. And so you're left out in the cold in some areas of life, some pretty serious areas of life. But the last one you have is generosity. Now this is the reassurance. And I think that as long as people don't turn away from the light, hence don't turn away from you, generosity is headed your way. Not everybody turns away from the light, so not everybody will. And seemingly, and hopefully, to be honest, at some point this week, somebody won't turn away from the light, and you will be able to experience someone lending a hand out of generosity. Someone you can trust, someone who there's no strings attached, someone who doesn't have a second agenda. Someone who just wants to give. Because in that equation, they weren't going to get. So whatever's crippling you, whether it's because you're about to lose your roof, you're about to end up in the ER, but outside of that, the only thing you're doing is light work, something is finally coming your way. All right, Leo. That's everything I got for you. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next week.